Welcome to Bagley, Wisconsin. Today we're going to travel to another state park. But first, let's go down to this boat landing launch and we'll take a travel up and hike a trail. Today, we're going Wild Lucerne State Park. It's established in 1917. Well, it was originally named Nelson Dewey after one of Wisconsin's governors, but it was switched over to Wild Lucerne, which means home of the warrior in a lineage language spoken by menacing Delaware tribes. Well, it's got 500-foot bluffs above what are we looking at? The Mississippi River. And yes, those are train tracks that go over the Mississippi River. And yes, we'll catch a lovely train going over that along the way. Well, if you're interested in actually going along this lovely path near the overlook right there, you'll take a hike right down to a cave. So we are actually going to explore a cave, which is actually pretty cool. So don't pass that lovely overlook, because the cave is actually not that far off from it. It's a little bit rough going up and down, but doable if you're actually used to hiking quite a bit. Now this is a pretty cool entryway to the cave area. Definitely scenic. Love it. Now it would be kind of cool to have a doorway like this. It would definitely be awesome. As you see a stairway right here, go down, and then you eventually have to go back up some stairs to get into the cave. This will actually tell you some information about the cave. And it's a little bit path right there, but doesn't really lead to much. Now this is a stairway to the cave. Let's take a venture up into the cave because it's actually kind of cool. Oh, this is the cave area. don't be shocked if you find bats living in here and maybe some other wildlife in here. But do be aware, it is their natural habitat. But do venture in. Definitely cool to see this in person. The video does not do justice, but definitely pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool rock formations along this side. So this trail does actually make a loop. So we're actually going to make our loop around. So come join the rest of the journey. Yep. There's one train going over the Mississippi. Definitely a cargo ship. Wait, not cargo ship, but cargo train. Definitely very active railroad tracks. We'll catch another one close to the end of them. Now, I love early morning hikes. It gets you energized for the rest of the day. And it's much more peaceful to go on a longer hike. Wyalusing State Park is the 4th state park created in the state of Wisconsin, and it is still considered part of the Driftless area. Like this night, cool rock just randomly sitting on the trail. Kind of cool. And as you can see, some of the path is kind of a little bit overgrown.
What the hell is this right here?
But still cool to see some of the rocks and hills. As you walk down this path, you are actually going down a hill, and you still get the scenic overlooks of the Mississippi. There are many trails here, including the Sand Cave Trail, which is actually kind of cool, and it can be very peoply at times, just depending on what time of day you go. And if you are interested, there are 69 preserved effigy and burial mounds of Native Americans that were preserved from 3,000 years ago. So if that's something that you're interested in, please, you can go visit it while you're visiting Wyalusing State Park. Most of this trail is well marked, and it can get kind of rocky at portions. So you can see some steps right there that you can use going down. But it's definitely a very pretty trail in here. As you can see, some lovely water if it's rained recently, and more very cool rock formations along the trail. I love my rock formations. I'm a geek for them. Don't mind me. And yes, pretty soon we will actually be walking along a river where we can see some lovely wildlife. Yep, I like enjoying seeing wildlife. See in the distance there, that is the river we'll be walking back around. And then we can make our circle back up the nice lovely hill that we came down. As you can mention, pretty cool to see a bald eagle just sitting there. Not too often I always get to see them, but when I do enjoy watching them. And you can tell it's kind of off in the distance, but with the camera you get a pretty good view. Some pretty swampy area. Still kind of interesting though. See how low it gets, which can make this path kind of unbearable to walk in if it does rain a lot. So if it does rain a lot in the time, be aware you might not be able to pass in this. Now this is a great egret. Something I don't always see really that much, or really not much at all. But it's really kind of cool. I see a couple of them out there. Time to make our way up the hill. Some stairs, but still mainly flat, but you are walking up some elevation. Yeah, gotta love those rock formations along the way. Which will make your way back up to the viewing area that you just came down from. As you can see in the distance, there is a train coming. kind of, well, pretty cool. Like you can see it in the distance as it will make its way across the Mississippi. Here it is. Pretty cool perspective from the overlook. And now this is part of the Sand Cave Trail and another one. So this is just to give you a perspective of what it would be like. So you might actually see some water running from the sand caves themselves.